Hey, what's up, everybody? Big Mike back again for Wrestling Rants and Reviews, and yet another day in wrestling history. Today's wrestling history is for August the 8th, and it's the beginning of a new week. That's right, it's Monday. So, all of y'all, I had to get up early for work today. I feel your pain, I feel you if you had to go to school, whatever. Some of you are in school still. I know it's a summer, but some of them are taking classes, but today looks like it was a somewhat busy day in wrestling history, so why don't we just get at it? Enough chit chat. Alrighty. A little bit of trivia notes, a little bit of useless knowledge, as I like to call it. Just going back last year's Jimmy Yang wins the All Japan Pro Wrestling Junior League, defeating Kai in the final. That's right. That's it. That's all of that. Moving on to events. We have a couple events that took place on August 8th. That's right. But the first one is in 1998. WCW Road Wild, as it was held at the motorcycle rally in Sturgis, South Dakota. We see a couple matches such as Saturn defeating Raven and Chris Kanyon in a Triangle Ravens rules match. Juventud Guerrero defeats Chris Jericho with Dean Malenko as special guest referee to win the WCW Cruiserweight title. Goldberg wins a Battle Royal, also featuring NWO Hollywood, the Giant, Scott Hall, Kurt Hennig, and Scott Norton. And NWO Wolfpack, Conan, Lex Luger, Kevin Nash, and Sting. Last eliminating the Giant, DDP, and Jay. Oh, yes. Goldberg was last eliminating the Giant. DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, and Jay Leno defeat Hollywood Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff as well. Also, just last year, another event was held. TNA Hardcore Justice, right? That's right. As we're just coming off the heels of Hardcore Justice last night. But the inaugural Hardcore Justice, and this in my book should have been the only Hardcore Justice. Last night should have been Hard Justice. Because last year when they did the Hardcore Justice, they should have only been Hardcore Justice because of the whole ECW original angle or EV 2.0. That's the only reason why it should have been Hardcore Justice. Last night should have been just Hard Justice because there was really nothing hardcore about it. It was kind of a shitty pay-per-view. But we won't talk about last night. We'll talk about last year. 2010 TNA Hardcore Justice was a one-off ECW reunion event held in Orlando, Florida. Tommy Dreamer was the man behind the idea, having just signed with the company. Jerry Lynn was supposed to face RVD in the main event, but was forced to pull out due to injury. In some of the matches we see, the FBI, Guido Marinato, or Marionetto, whatever the fuck his name is, Tracy Smothers and Tony Luke. See, as you'll see, people won't be using their real names because ECW is now intellectual property of the WWE. So, anyways, they defeat Kid Cash, Simon Diamond, and Johnny Swinger. Too Cold Scorpio defeats C.W. Anderson. Stevie Richards defeats P.J. Polaco, who is just incredible. Rhino defeats Brother Runt and Al Snow in a three-way dance elimination match. Team 3D, Brother Ray and Brother Devon defeat Axelrod and Cajones. Cajones is Balls Mahoney. They beat them in a South Philadelphia street fight. Raven defeats Tommy Dreamer in the final showdown match with Mick Foley as special guest referee. And we also see RVD defeating Sabu in a hardcore rules match. Title changes for this day. On August the 8th, we go back to 1960 and we see Red and Lou Bastion defeat the Fabulous Kangaroos, Al Costello and Roy Heffernan, to win the NWA Northeast United States Tag Team titles. 1961, Vernon Gagne defeats Gene Kiniski to win the AWA World title. 1963, Vernon Gagne defeats Fritz Von Erich to win the AWA World title. It must be nice to be the booker, eh? You book yourself as champion as many years in a row as you want. 1966, Waldo Von Erich defeats Tony Bourne to win the Texas Brass Knuckles title. 1969, the Medics 1 and 2 defeat Ramon and Albert Torres to win the TSW United States Tag Team titles. 1981, Wahoo McDaniel defeats Roddy Piper to win the NWA United States title. 1993, Tito Santana defeats Don Morocco to win the NWA ECW title. Also, the Dark Patriot and Eddie Gilbert win a tournament to win the vacant ECW Tag Team titles. 1997, we see Dutch Mantel defeat Jerry Lawler to win the USWA Unified World Heavyweight title. This would be the final reign before the promotion closed in November of that year. 1998, Masahiro Chono defeats Tatsumi Fujinami to win the IWGP Heavyweight title. Also, Shinjiro Otani and Tatsui Takawa defeat Dr. Wagner Jr. and Koji Kanemoto in the final of the tournament to become the first IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. Birthdays on this day in wrestling history, and I'm sorry I couldn't get his actual age. I should do a little more researching, but Scott D'Amore's birthday today. Scott D'Amore used to be an agent for TNA. He was also a wrestler, obviously, on the Ontario independent scene for many years. He also had his time, I think, in WCW. He wrestled underneath the name Chip Birdie. He runs and operates Stars of the Game at Windsor, which is a fine restaurant. He also got, he was once owner of BCW, Border City Wrestling. Still runs Can-Am Wrestling. I know the information, but I just can't get his fucking age. But anyways, happy birthday to Scott D'Amore. Also today, they're both turning 44. We got Sable, that's right, one-time WWF Women's Champion, and Mrs. Brock Lesnar. Sable is 44. And so is Eric Angle, the brother of WWE wrestler, or former WWE wrestler, Kurt Angle, is also 44. Today would have been the birthday of a former WWF manager and announcer, Lord Alfred Hayes. He would have been 83. And speaking of, he would have been, and we had in memoriam today. On this day in 1966, the Wrestling World lost four-time WWE, four-time World Heavyweight Champion Ed Strangler Lewis at the age of 75. So sad to hear that, well, at least he got to live most of his life. He was a bad champion. All that good stuff. So, anyways, folks, that's today's wrestling history. I am Big Mike, and that's that.